2020 was historic for NASA. We launched humans to the International Space Station from America again, made progress on our plans to return humans to the Moon and explore Mars, had an unprecedented encounter with an asteroid, and displayed perseverance and resilience in space and on Earth, all while helping the country deal with a global crisis. Here's a look back at highlights from those and other things we did this year at NASA. Early in the year, as the initial impacts of the coronavirus pandemic were being felt across the country, the NASA workforce stepped up to the challenge, developing innovative technologies, including a ventilator prototype, an oxygen hood, and a device for sterilizing medical equipment.
NASA is an amazing little agency that does astonishing things every day.
And astonishing is a good way to describe the mission-critical work NASA continued and accomplished in 2020 in spite of the challenges.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Spot and Dog.
It was a landmark year for humans in space and for how we get them there. Our SpaceX Demo 2 test flight to the International Space Station was the first human space mission to launch to the station from America since the end of the Space Shuttle program in 2011. That was followed by the first commercial crew rotational flight to the station, carrying 4 astronauts aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft named Resilience. November marked the 20th year of humans continuously living and working aboard the space station, with one station astronaut, Christina Cook, wrapping up a record 328-day stay on the orbital outpost, the most time spent in space on a single mission by any woman. Meanwhile, astronauts Bob Behnken and Chris Cassidy each completed record-tying 10th spacewalks on the same outing in July. And we graduated the first class of astronaut candidates for future missions to the station, the Moon, and Mars, and accepted more than 12,000 applications for the next class of Artemis generation candidates. It was a big year for our Artemis plans, capped off in December with the introduction of 18 astronauts that will help pave the way for human missions on and around the Moon, including landing the first woman and next man on the Moon by 2024.
My fellow Americans, I give you the heroes of the future who will carry us back to the Moon and beyond.
We continued testing the Space Launch System, or SLS rocket's core stage for Artemis 1 with a Green Run test series to verify the core stage is launch ready for 2021. Teams began stacking the SLS solid rocket boosters and practiced rollout with a mobile launcher that will be used for the flight. And after rigorous environmental testing, we began final preparations on our Orion spacecraft for the uncrewed Artemis 1 mission. Artemis 1 is the first in a series of increasingly complex missions to the Moon that will ultimately lead to human exploration of Mars. In October, NASA and 7 partner countries signed the Artemis Accords for international participation. An 8th partner joined later. We finalized agreements with the European Space Agency and the Canadian Space Agency to collaborate on our Gateway lunar outpost. We worked with private industry on Artemis, selecting 3 U.S. companies, Blue Origin, Dynetics, and SpaceX, to design and develop human lunar landing systems. We also selected SpaceX to be the first U.S. company to deliver experiments and other critical cargo to the Gateway. We announced the first scientific investigations for the Gateway will be a study on solar particles and solar wind, and one on how to keep astronauts safe from radiation. We made multiple task order awards and payload assignments as part of our Commercial Lunar Payload Services, or CLPS initiative, to work with American companies to send science and technology to the lunar surface. We selected Astrobotic to send a golf cart-sized robot called Viper to the Moon's south pole in search for water, and solicited bids from CLPS partners to fly a suite of science and technology payloads to the Moon in 2022. We had a steady stream of groundbreaking science missions in 2020.